Hey, hey y'all. Ooh, ooh, a little bit too close. Hey everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, y'all. Good morning. Hey, I'm trying to wait. I'm trying to wait for a few minutes to see if this lady gonna get on. I don't even know how to. How do I ask somebody to join? Good morning. Um, I don't know. Somebody requested that I talk about something, but maybe I should have. I don't know. Maybe I should have had found her before this. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. So I was live yesterday, and I had asked. I was live yesterday, and I asked if y'all had any topics. I asked. I asked everybody, hey, I asked if y'all had any topics that y'all wanted me to talk about to personal message me or drop it in the comments. And the lady asked me, how do I cope with being HIV positive, right? So I told her I was gonna come live today at 7:30, but I've been so busy today, this morning. So I have arrived. I am here. So before I came live, I was sitting here and I was thinking like, what I'm gonna say? How do I cope with being HIV positive, right? I sat for like maybe 3 minutes and I was trying to figure it out. And honestly, I'm still trying to figure it out right now. How do I cope with being HIV positive? So maybe the word cope maybe is making me confused. Maybe I should put another word there. How do I deal with being HIV positive? How do I handle being HIV positive? I don't know. And listen, y'all, the way you use words give you a different feeling from it. Hey, the way you use words give people a different outlook on what you asking them, right? So sometimes to help me understand what's going on, I have to change the words around. Like I literally would change all of them around. Like when people talking to me, that's what I do in my head. I be changing them like, that's just I'm just weird like that, right? So I'm not even gonna just tell y'all that. Why did I just tell y'all that? So if I had to really think about I'm gonna cut that. That don't look good. That's not good. If I actually had to explain how do I deal with or how I cope with being HIV positive, this is the way I explain it. First thing, in the beginning when I became HIV positive, I lived through my relationship. I lived through the person that gave it to me. I really suppressed the reality of being HIV positive. I put it to the back of my head. And everything he did or everything he said, I lived through that. I lived through that moment, those moments to not deal with what actually was going on. So for a lot of years, I never accepted that I was HIV positive. So if you really think about it, to when you coping with something, that's not really saying you handling it, right? When you're dealing, when is you gonna be ready? When you dealing with something, dealing with it is not the same as accepting it either. You know what I'm saying? So as I'm trying my best to figure all these words out, because I told y'all how I do, coping with it, the way I coped with it, the way I dealt with it, and the way I handled it was by living through my relationship, right? But the moment that I accepted that I was HIV, things changed for me. Things changed in a way that sometimes I don't even know who I am no more. I be like, wait a minute, who this chick is? You know what I mean? Like I'm not the same since you done? Okay. So I'm not the same person since I accepted the diagnosis, right? So let me say it's been like 2 years, maybe 2.5 years. Yeah, 2 years. It's been 2 years since I actually went public on I did a live on Facebook about 2 years ago. Why do I yarn so much? I would really appreciate it if somebody tell me why I yarn so much. I don't know why this. Okay, anywho. So for about 2 years, I've been living different, right? So before that, I was living through my relationship. Anything he did, anything that went on, I lived through that. I actually lived through my job. I lived through my kids. Anything that can help me forget I was HIV positive, I did that. I did it for a lot of years. I was so sad. I was so depressed to myself. I was so sad. I was so depressed. I was going through so many different things, and nobody really knew. I had close friends that I talked to, and I had people. I worked in a hospital for 11, for 6. I've been in positive for 16 years. So let's say 14 of those years, I was in silence for 14 years, right? So I don't like that, and I don't care what y'all think about it. But anyway, so for 11 of those years, I worked in a hospital. I worked in the medical field. I'm a CNA. Think that look a little better. Okay. So I worked in the medical field. I was a CNA. I talked to people on a regular, my coworkers, everything. Even when people was newly diagnosed, they would come, the nurses and the doctors would come to me and ask me to talk to them. So at home, I was hiding my HIV status. I was suffering in silence within my pain. But then I went to work, and work was a comfort for me. Work was where everybody accepted me. I've never, like when people ask me to speak on platforms and stuff like that, or when I'm with other people that's HIV positive, I be looking at them and I be learning from them. Like, I don't know what the stigma towards HIV is. I can't even speak in regards to that because I don't know what it is. I honestly believe that God just covered me from it. I never dealt with that. I never dealt with people acting or treating me a certain type of way because I was positive. So working in a hospital I worked in the hospital 11 years. I was diagnosed sweetest day. And I think I started working maybe 6 or 7 months later. Let's say 9 months later, I started working in the hospital. So I went straight into working in a hospital, working around different people, just being around different people. And it really matured me. And I was able to see HIV in a different way because people was being diagnosed and people was going through stuff I wasn't going through. Like, they would have sores on their tongue. They would have the night sweats, the diarrhea. I had never experienced any of this before. Never. So this was new to me. Hey, y'all. This was all new to me. So when they was diagnosed, I would go in and talk to them to help them kind of pretty much deal with or cope with what was laid on them. Still not really coping with my own stuff at home. You know what I mean? I worked so many doubles, y'all. It didn't even make no sense. Doubles was really what was in back then. So yeah, that's what I did for a long time until I accepted that I had HIV, and it's been 2 years since I have accepted that I am HIV positive. And since then, life has been so different for me. I feel better. I'm able to talk about it openly now. Listen, me going public with my HIV status was the best thing I could have did for my life, because it's one thing to have a support system in secret, or to go through things in secret, or think in secret, or just secret itself. But because a secret is something that's held in, right? A secret is something that's held close and it's personal. It's personal, and you don't want it to be told, right? You don't want nobody to share it with nobody, right? Because it's secret, right? It's just for you. But so when you able to verbalize yourself, to identify what's going on in your life changed for you. So when I was able to go public and say, I have HIV, but HIV don't have me. I said that on that live, and it changed my life. I freed myself. I freed myself of a reality that I created for myself, because that reality that I had, it wasn't even real. It was something that I made up to protect myself from. I think I think I think I did that so that I didn't have to look at this nigga gave me this nigga gave me this and I stayed with him. Right? So instead of me looking at it like he gave me HIV and I stayed with him, I looked at it like this nigga cheating on me. This nigga doing this and he doing this and he doing this. And that was a way for me not to think about what the real issue was. You know what I mean? So the question that you asked me, I was disclosing to people in the hospital and people that was diagnosed too. I was disclosing to them. Everybody at the hospital knew I was HIV positive. Like my friends and my family knew, but it was still different. It still felt like I was living in secret because nobody talked about it. Everybody knew I was HIV positive, but nobody talked about it. Everybody thought I was fine because of the way I act. I act like I was good. So everybody thought I was good, but I really was not good. I was faking happy for a long time. I felt like if I had money, if I had a nice car, my kids were straight, my house looked nice, and I kept my hair done. I kept my nails done. I always had jewelry. Nobody would really see. And I was fat too. I was fat. I was depressed. It was just, nobody saw my pain. They just saw this girl as HIV positive. She's so positive. And she's just taking care of her family. And she's awesome. They didn't know I wanted to commit suicide a lot of nights. A lot of nights because I couldn't understand why did this happen to me? Like, why me? You know what I mean? And then sometimes I used to think like, why not me? Like I had so many different emotions within these years with coping with I'm HIV positive or dealing with I'm HIV positive or handling I'm HIV positive. I'm gonna write this down too because I'm writing a book. I'm writing so many different books. It's weird. I have a poetry book that I'm trying to get together, and it's called HIV Thoughts, where I'm just gonna put a whole bunch of things together, and I think that'll be a real good thing. Coping with HIV, dealing with HIV, handling the diagnosis. It's so many people that's HIV positive that you would never know. And the way they cope with it is being normal. Just being normal. Just being normal is the way they cope with it. But when they by themselves, they fucking want to kill themselves. Or when they by themselves, they like, this shit is crazy. Some people, not all of them. But everybody cope with it and deal with it and handle living with HIV different. But for me, the way I dealt with it years ago wasn't right. And since I accepted that I was HIV positive, things has changed for me. So for today, I know I'm going around in circles, but I know y'all understand. So today, for me, the way I cope with living with HIV, the way I deal with living with HIV, and the way I handle being a woman surviving HIV is to wake up every day and be the best version of me. Every fucking day. I mean, every day. Be the best version of me that day. Not what I was yesterday or last week, but I be the best version of me every day. I make sure that I take care of me. Not my man, not my kids, not my friends. That's second. Me first. I take care of me. I get in tune with me. And I accept me. So I don't have to worry about nobody else feeling no type of way about me or dealing with me or nothing. Because the way I deal with myself, right? So that's how I cope with living with HIV and surviving it. I take care of myself. I make sure that I'm okay mentally. Make sure my heart is right. So I do a lot of self-development. Lots of self-development. I read a lot of books. I read a lot of scriptures. I watch a lot of videos, self-help videos, motivational videos, all of that. I do a lot of self-work. That's how I cope with, or handle living with HIV is I focus on building myself up in areas that I know that I lack in, right? So that's the way I cope with it. That's the way I cope with it. I hope that makes sense because I really don't know what to say because I don't know. I just live regular, I live regular life. Another thing I do to cope with living with HIV, HIV is not a hindrance for me no more. So I treat it like it ain't nothing. You know what I mean? When I do big stuff, and I'm going to tell y'all a secret. Don't tell nobody, okay? So I downplay things, right? I downplay a lot of stuff because I'm a Virgo anyway, so you know how he is. I feel like I should be in a better place financially than I am at, right? I feel like I should be doing much better than I'm doing. But I allowed my emotions in regards to my relationship and him infecting me to cause me to be down for so long. And I get so mad at myself. Like I should be doing much better in life because I know so much. And I'm not. And it upsets me sometimes. So I downplay stuff. Like when I got my publisher company, it wasn't nothing. Like, okay, I got it. Now what I'm gonna do with it? I wrote all these books. I help people write books. I publish people books. I speak to people. I counsel people every day. And it's not enough. I feel like I want to beat the fuck out of HIV. Like, I want to let HIV know you ain't doing nothing. You ain't stopping nothing over here. So this little stuff I'm doing, this little stuff, just wait. Once I get to doing this big stuff. That's how I be feeling. I feel sometimes like I'm so far behind. So my everyday emotion is to make HIV mad. Every day. That's how I cope with it. Make it mad. How can you make something mad that you can't see? Right? How can you make something bad mad that you can't touch? Right? So it's really not even the HIV that's the issue. Right? Because you can't see it. Can't touch it. You can't feel it. The blood, the cells, how you gonna get that? You gotta die. Right? So what I do is I fight with my emotions. HIV is not really nothing. It's a word. It's just tied to so many different words. That word, when people look at me, they look at me and they say, okay, she's HIV positive, but then they put all these other words to it. Period. Period. That's how I see HIV. HIV is really not a really big deal. I know I sound crazy, right? HIV is not a big deal. Your emotions tied to you being HIV positive is the big thing. I take my pill. I take care of myself. I'm fine. HIV ain't doing nothing to my body. I'm good. But the way I feel in regards to those 3 letters can affect my life if I don't get my emotions in order. That's why I always tell people, HIV not the problem. It's the way you look at those words and what you see or what you think when you hear the words. When you hear HIV, oh my God, I'm going to pray for her. Oh my God. You think to say, I'm going to pray for her. I feel bad for her. Or I feel bad for him. And some of us don't feel bad for me. I don't need that. I need you to feel bad for me. I did it already. I messed up. I used a condom. I did not use a condom. And because of that, I'm HIV positive. Period. Don't feel bad for my bad choice. My bad choice caused me to have to take a pill for the rest of my life. Don't be feeling sorry for me. When you look at me and you know that I'm HIV positive, I want you, when you think of me, I want you to be like, I'm gonna get tested. Because this stuff this girl be talking about, she got me thinking. Don't feel sorry for me. Don't worry about me. Don't send a prayer for me because I need that. But don't be worried. Don't be thinking, feel no pity. No. I want you guys to take better care of yourself and stop having unprotected sex. Or with the person that you having sex with, y'all both be on one accord and y'all understand what's going on, how important it is to know your status. Done. We're done with that. But yeah, that's how I cope with living with HIV. I hope this has made sense to you guys because it made a lot of sense to me and I actually learned a lot from this video. I love going live because it actually helps me understand my own craziness. Oh, so you didn't know until you got tested. No, I didn't know. My partner got tested and then I was told to get tested because I had been sleeping with him and I was 8 months pregnant. So I had to go and get tested. I didn't want to because I'm like, I don't know. But I was pregnant. So I had to go and get tested to make sure my baby was fine. Okay. Let's see. Let me answer these questions real quick. Yes, that part. That part. You know, I don't see no, my kids are fine. All three of my kids are negative. I have a 16-year-old, I have a 13-year-old, I have an 8-year-old. And if it's God's willing, I'll have another one. um, I've always felt like when I was down and sad and stuff, God always spoke to me, right? He always spoke to me. He told me that one day my life was going to change. My situation and my pain was going to change lives all around the world. But I'm looking like, how that's going to happen? How, when, where, how, what, right? So when I dropped my first book and I had all these people coming at me and the book was helping them out and it was helping them deal with things not even HIV related. I'm like, dang, when God speaks something to you and then when you see it take place, it's like that faith, baby. Your faith change. It be like on a whole nother level. Like the level of the I don't know. It's just different. So I honestly, and I know a lot of people don't understand this, and I try my best to explain it the best way I can. HIV saved my life, right? HIV saved me. Because if I wouldn't have got it when I got it, it's a possibility when I got it, I wouldn't be who I am now. The lifestyle that I was living, the guns and the drugs, it's just too much, you know? So I honestly believe HIV came to stop me. I had a bad attitude. I always was fighting. Like, who I am today, baby. Y'all met the best version of me. I was a mess. And when HIV came, it humbled me. I used to fight all my boyfriends. I remember one boyfriend I had a knife to his throat and he had a gun on my head. Like, it was bad. It was bad. I was hanging around people I shouldn't have been around. And I called myself tough. Gangster, you know. But when I met this guy, I wasn't hard no more. We went to church and things had changed. HIV changed my life. And I'm so thankful that it's crazy. I can't believe that I be saying some of the stuff I be saying. I'm so thankful that I got HIV because I learned who God was. I learned the love that God had for me. And a lot of people may think that HIV is the worst thing in the world, but I live the same way everybody else live. And actually have found somebody that loved me. And his mother loves me. You know? So HIV is not a hindrance. And because of HIV, I was able to find out my purpose in life. I was able to find out who I was. Because at first I didn't know who I was. I was out here playing around. So I figured out who I was and how much God loved me, how much he valued me, how important I was to him. And that changed my life. It changed my life. Seriously, it really did. So I just be living regular, y'all. I just be living regular. Thank you, because sometimes I be thinking I don't make sense. A lot of people, I'm so misunderstood. A lot of people don't understand it, but I'm glad that you understand it. I think that's pretty much it. Do y'all have any questions, or is there any other live y'all want me to do? I can come live again tomorrow. My goal was 4 videos this week. And actually, my 4 videos are supposed to be on YouTube, so I'm actually doing a good job right now. So is there any other topics y'all want me to talk about in regards to HIV or regards to anything? I'll come back live tomorrow. We could do this all over again. What time? I guess 11 o'clock tomorrow. What's mine? Wednesday? Yeah, we could do Wednesday. We could do tomorrow 11 if y'all want to. What we talking about tomorrow, y'all? Y'all know my usual, when I talk about HIV, it's always the T. The T about HIV. That's what I call it. I call it the T because I think when I first made it up, everybody just be like, the tea. Spill the tea. Spill the tea. So everybody want to know some tea about HIV, right? But sometimes I don't have no, I try my best to find topics, but I can't. I can't because I'm living regular. So I look at all these other people channels on YouTube and like they talk about so many different things and I can't relate and I can't fake. Those two, no. I'm not finna just jump on live and do a video for something that I can't relate to or something that I have no knowledge on. Just because I'm HIV positive don't mean that you can put me in a category with all other people that's HIV positive, because we all have different lives and mine's different. So, okay, y'all, I'm about to go. If y'all think of a topic or something, just direct message me and we'll get to it tomorrow. Y'all enjoy y'all day, and do not forget, love on yourself is the most important thing you could do for yourself, is to love on yourself. It will change your life. I know how to end it this time.